Okay, this might be a bit hard to hear because I've got El heater on, but we're tackling rust again. It's been a while since we've done focus, done some coupe rust. So as you can tell, the bottom's been done, that half of the wheel arch and down there's been done, end of the sill panel in there's all lovely, and there was nothing between. I can't even feel where the joint is, somewhere there. So there's nothing between here and here, so I'm going to just do, got this, the remnants of that. And you know, some people go, why didn't you put it all in as one piece? Well, I didn't think it was necessary, and if I do it like that, you sort of absolutely guarantee you know where it's going to look right. So I do like to try and keep as much of an original car as possible. So we're going to put in, I'm going to go into this repair panel a little bit and put in about that much, I reckon, and probably fix what I'm assuming to be a pretty good hole behind it. So we'll have to repair the inner as well. So stay tuned. Okay, we've hacked open the piece. We have the new piece ready, trimmed down from the bigger piece. I gave myself more than I needed. However, when I started getting into it, I discovered that the rust went a little bit further. So what I've done is I've cut off a little bit of this repair section just so I can get behind it. It's okay up here, despite what it looks like. It is actually solid. So I'll make a section that goes in here. And actually, that's about where my old one joins in that I put under here. So I know that area is still good. And it's not rusty here. Actually, was when I picked off the sealer that was here, it was still beautiful and painted. So for some reason, from here to here, that wheel arch didn't rust out. But from there around it did, and from here around it did. I guess in that one spot there must be free from water. So yeah, we're just going to quickly make this. It's basically just a right angle that's stretched around a curve, and then that's just cut and weld in, and then we basically just put the outside back on. That's just it. It's not actually an overly complicated repair, but yeah, I thought I'd do. It's not going to be as in-depth as some other ones, but I thought I'd get back into some rust repair. I actually haven't videoed any for freaking ages, so you know, you might find it useful, you might not, but it's something like what I used to do. Okay, we have our curve. We need to shrink it now around that side so it's can curve around a corner, because when you look at the wheel arch, it isn't just that shape, it's also a curve. Well, that just doesn't focus. We also scored another boot lid for the old Landau, which still hides in the background at home. How good is that? You almost don't find coupe boot lids like that anymore. And yes, we did have to pay through the nose for it. But that doesn't mean we have a spare one. Hanging up. It's not perfect. There's a little rust hole in it right there. This thing ever focuses, and it's had a spoiler on it. You know, it does have a little bit of rust in it. But yeah, that's for the Landau. We'll tidy that up at some point and get that on. But yeah, but that for a fine. There's not a drop of rust in that boot lid. It's not straight by any means, but none of them are. We're finding a non-rusty one that still has reasonable paint. I mean, it's not great paint, but still, you know, just almost unheard of anymore. So we're going to shrink this down around the corner and stick it in. Alrighty, just had a phone call from a chap who found me on YouTube. So, howdy. Found us through Lonzo Engine Works, which is interesting. But anyway, just howdy to that guy, because I know he'll be watching this. So yeah, we've just whittled this piece up. I'm about to put it in there. That's the inner. And then we'll weld that in, grind it down, make it lovely. Then put the outer on. And we'll be cooking with gas. Should fit. I mean, I'm holding it with my left hand, holding the camera in my right hand, but trust me, it does fit really well. Yeah, it'll look... well, it is really hard to do this. Maybe if I used a tripod, but, you know, this is easier and quicker. So yeah, I'm just going to tack that in, and then we'll keep on keeping on. And what I've done is, I've cleaned up the inside too. So that's another trick, is when you're going to do some welding, try and clean up both sides of it, because this shit can actually end up in your weld. And can cause your weld to be a bit shit. So ideally you want to clean both sides of your steel and be working with clean metal. That's how you get really good welds. So I try and clean up both sides, that way it's lovely on both sides. Okay, that's welded in. Now, people worry, I think, a bit too much about making their welds pretty. All you have to do is make sure you've penetrated. And that's it. You don't have to make them pretty. They don't have to be a row of pennies. They just have to be secure. And that's all in. I'm going to grind that down now, make it all pretty, and then we're going to put the outer on. And then obviously I'm going to trim this bit up, because it's okay up here, but it's a little bit wider than the other one was. But that's okay, because we can trim that down. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm going to grind that down, and we'll start putting the outer on, and then this repair will be done. And there we have it. That's all looking lovely. That's really good, actually. And down here, somebody asked me the other day through my Graham's Restorations page what tools I use. Now, it was much, I was like, I saw it, I'll reply to it, but I figured if they watch the videos too, well then I'll just show it. So down here we have, oh, by the way, this is all air powered too, so get yourself a decent compressor. So you got a right angle die grinder with a roll lock disc on it, a mini belt sander, air hacksaw, and a cut-off disc on another die grinder. But this one has the left and right function, which is why I went for it. So the disc can spin in both directions. I often use a chisel. I've also used it apparently near an angle grinder. Still works. I do sharpen them. That used to be probably 1.5 inches longer than that, but they sharpen up pretty good. Air blower for blowing metal filings out of places. Just a wire brush on a drill. Cordless angle grinder. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Panel beating hammer. These are awesome. Nice and light. It's one of my favourite hammers. It's been shortened a couple of times because I've broken it. And you know, just some basic stuff, the roll locks and whatnots, and obviously a welder. And this has been a really, really good sort of, you know, it's the biggest of the small welders. So I will be replacing it eventually with a 250 so I can do some bigger stuff, but this is great for panel work. I think these are about a $1,400 welder. I must have got this on sale about 6 years ago, and I reckon I paid $900 for it. I did see a second-hand one of these that was identical to this go for sale in an auction, and it sold for $900, and I was like, holy crap! So yeah, and obviously trolley jack and things. None of my equipment is what I would classify super expensive. Are they saying that? That's a snap-on. That's a snap-on, that's a Blue Point, so they're pretty expensive. But you don't need to buy expensive stuff, you just need to get stuff to get you going. So that's just the tools I use. And let's put the outer piece on now. And there we have it, end of a repair. Came out alright. Yeah, a little bit of warpage, but not too bad. I fixed up in there. That's pretty much it for this. We've just got to spray some etch on it, and we'll come back to it on Monday. That's the day. Comes right after Sunday. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.